In this video, I'm going to open a jar of our home canned beef stew. If you would like to see how I pressure canned beef stew, you'll find that video in the description box below. Okay, so we're going to remove the lid from this quart jar. It looks good, it smells good, so let's go ahead and cook it a little bit and taste it and see how it turned out. Now I am pouring this quart jar of beef stew into this pot. And here's what it looks like. You can see the liquid is still pretty watery. Let's mix it up a little bit. I'll show it to you again. All right, you can see the liquid's watery. Okay, and remember that all of these ingredients, these were all raw when we put in here. Okay, so here is a cube of the beef roast. And I just want to show you how soft it is, how it just pulls apart just so easily. And I am tasting it, and it tastes good. And again, you can see that the broth, that the juice is runny and watery. Okay, so now I am showing you a carrot, and these carrots were put in raw, and they were homegrown carrots. And the potatoes, these were just some potatoes I bought from Azure Standard. So you can see the carrots and the potatoes and even our homegrown celery here. Like I said, again, they were put in raw, and you can see I can just mush them between my fingers. Okay, so now I have the pot on the stove and I'm bringing it to a boil. And you can eat it like this. If you like it kind of watery like that, go for it. It is recommended, which we personally rarely ever do this, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. It is recommended to go ahead and boil your low acid foods for 10 minutes before you consume them, just to be on the safe side. That's just what they recommend. Okay, so for the sake of being more accurate for this video, like I said, we don't do that, but for this video, this is what it looks like after it's been boiled for about 10 minutes. You can see some of the liquid has evaporated. Now, we like the liquid on our beef stew to be thicker, so I just put in a little bit of cornstarch with some cold water, just a little bit, and put it into the boiling liquid. I'm just stirring it around to thicken it up. This is completely optional, and it's your preference only. You do not have to thicken it at all. It's up to you. After adding in the cornstarch, you can see that it has thickened up quite a bit. Okay, now I just scooped some up into a bowl, and here's what it looks like. Again, people are different. Some people might like it more liquidy and runny and watery. Some like it thicker. It's completely up to you. All right, so now we're going to do a little taste test. Okay, I'm going to scoop up a little bit of everything. So I have a carrot, a potato, and some meat. Looks like a little bit of celery too. And for having no seasoning in that quart jar aside from the 1 teaspoon of salt, it was surprising with how flavorful and how delicious it was. Each ingredient on its own was equally just perfectly cooked and delicious. When I go to make fresh beef stew for supper one night, what I do, I actually season it pretty well. I do the salt, and I do paprika and pepper. I use some beef broth and Worcestershire sauce and garlic and bay leaves, and of course, the vegetables and the meat that you saw. So again, I was very surprised how just 1 teaspoon of salt in this quart jar of pressure canned beef stew had so much flavor, considering that I did not add any flavor. So the flavor was just from the food, and it was so good. It was different than what I make, but it was really good. Thanks for watching.